and this was a thing in the past that you say, you know what, we're done with that, we're going to leave it in the past, then leave it in the past. However, if it's something that you know that it's a reference point, like, you know what, I just want to use this as a point so you can understand where I'm coming from, and this is what happened, and this is what I mean, then that is the way to do it. Instead of saying, hey, well, remember last time, or remember this time when we talked about this and you did that. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Nyla, Coach Nyla, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships. And if you are new to our channel, welcome. And if you're not new to our channel, welcome back. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you are notified of the videos that we are putting out and our new videos, which we put out every single week. So yes, in this particular video, I'm going to discuss 5 keys to picking and choosing your battles. And the reason why I decided to do this video and why this video is important is because we've gotten a number of questions and comments and things in our inbox that from some of the people who are having issues with, fostering these relationships because of these certain battles that they decided to embark upon, and trying to find out how can they get through or get past or grow through these different things and these different challenges. Because we're going to always go through some type of challenge in life. We're going to have battles. Everything is not going to be sunshine and rainbows and peaches and cream and unicorns and gumdrops. It's not going to be that way. That's not how life is. Why? Because we are people. People have different emotions, different feelings. Sometimes these feelings can be misinterpreted. Sometimes they could be misdirected. It could be a lot of different reasons why. But challenges are a normal way of life. It's a natural part of life. Sometimes our challenges can help us grow. Sometimes our challenges can help us reflect. So being able to pick and choose how you want to deal with these challenges. Do you want to battle it out? Do you want to fight the fight? You have to realize that we don't have to fight every battle that come our way. We don't. We have to figure out if it's worth it. That goes into one of the keys is asking ourselves these questions. And I have 3 questions that I usually ask when it comes to if this is worth it, if it's, a battle that I need to embark upon, or is this something that I need to look into a little bit more or fight or whatever the case may be. One question is, how is it going to benefit? Like, how is it going to benefit me? How is it going to benefit the other party? How is it going to benefit the bigger picture, the overall, a big picture of everything? If it's not anything positive, like seriously, if there's no clarity, no understanding, no growth that's going to come from it, then it's not important enough to fight that battle. Like, we have to see if it's something that's going to come out of it, something positive that's going to come out of it. And something positive may come out of it after some hardship or some hard realities or anything like that. But if the overall picture is the positive outcome, then that battle may be a battle worth embarking on, even if it may be some tough times going through it, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's one. Another question is, am I in a proper state? And being in a proper state is very important. I have a rule that when I'm on my cycle, I do not discuss anything for the most part. I don't discuss anything that's going to be emotionally heavy, that is, super serious or anything like that, because I may not be in the right state. I might not be in the right frame of mind. I may be overly emotional, and it'd be something that I'll probably just have to put a pin in until the next week or whatever the case may be. Now, what I may do is discuss it, or at least let it be known that this is something that I'm willing to discuss, or that I need to discuss or want to discuss later. And then, that would be at least be known. So it wouldn't be anything that's just thrown out there. And the next one, or the third question is the person receptive? Is the other person receptive? Because just as much as I want to be heard, I need to know that they're in that state too, that they're going to be receptive, and I want to make sure that I'm receptive as well, so I can hear them and they can hear me, and we can come to an agreement or whatever the case may be, which goes into the next key. And the next key is have an agreement. Can there be an agreement, or create an agreement? And that means that it doesn't mean that it's going to be an agreement that everybody's going to be totally happy with. The agreement may just be an agreement to agree to disagree. I feel this way. This is, what I believe. You feel that way. This is the way you believe. And I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. So it is what it is, and we can move forward from there. It is what it is. You have your feelings. I have mine. We have to be able to respect other people's differences, just like we want them to respect ours. We don't have to force them to see things our way, just as much as, we don't have to be forced to see things someone else's way.
Hear ye, all my fellow wives in polygyny and polygyny wannabes. Come closer, a little bit closer. Okay. Do you really want fulfillment in your marriage? Do you want to stop the feeling of guilt because you married a married man, or because you want to marry a married man? Do you want to stop feeling like you were pushed aside, disrespected, neglected because your husband married another woman? The solution to these feelings and others lie with being intentional and courageous communication, as well as embracing your identity. If you want to find out how to gain success in these areas, check out my gratification through growth, counseling, and coaching at CoachNyla.com. And I'll see you on the other side.
So you may just agree to disagree, or you may agree to grow on this thing, or agree to revisit these things from time to time and, get better at your communication, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the agreement is, make sure it's a mutual agreement and you move forward on that. But I was saying the next, that agreement, yeah, that's the next thing. The other key, the next key number 3, is to seek clarity. But I was saying the next, that agreement, yeah, that's the next thing. The other key, the next key number 3, is to seek clarity. You have the understanding, or seek clarity, understanding. You have the agreement, or you have the rule that you said, okay, you know what? We're going to come to an agreement. When we do this thing, we're going to have an agreement. Now, if you can't do that, then you might not want to embark on that battle, because now it's just going to be a continuous back and forth, and what is the benefit? It goes back to the questions again. What's the benefit if we're not going to even come to an agreement? We're just going to be back and forth with it. There's nothing beneficial there. So the other one's seeking clarity. Even if that's the agreement, I want to understand your side. I want you to understand my side. We may not agree, but I want you to understand it, and I just want you to see it from my view, type of thing. So if that isn't okay, if you guys can agree to that, then hey, let's get that taken care of. Let's get it done, because those are things to help us bond. Those are things to help us understand one another and build on our relationships, and realize that We are all different, and we can respect the other person's personality, their differences, and the things that they're going through, and realize that it's not all about us. People are multifaceted just like we are. So that's another thing to see if this is something, whether you should embark on or not, whether this battle is something you should, be even digging into or trying to fight. So, the next key is reference of the past. Reference of the past is really interesting because when it comes down to it, sometimes people bring up past stuff as weapons. And it's very, very dangerous because it can cause some negative triggers. It can cause some trust issues. It can cause a lot of problems. Now, if you're bringing up past things to just state a point, just as a reference point, in your, I don't really want to say in your argument, but like in your, the point that you're trying to make, then be careful in the way you do it. If it's something that you discussed and you got clarity on and you finished, it's something that you had an agreement on and everything like that, you went through these different steps that I'm already talking about, or these different keys, and this was a thing in the past that you say, you know what, we're done with that, we're going to leave it in the past, then leave it in the past. However, if it's something that that it's a reference point, like, I just want to use this as a point so you can understand where I'm coming from, and this is what happened, and this is what I mean, then that is the way to do it. Instead of saying, hey, well, remember last time, or remember this time when we talked about this and you did that. See, that becomes very dangerous because, or they say, oh, what about when you did this? It's like, what, I thought we were done with this. Now I got to figure out if you're going to just throw daggers every time because you don't like what I'm saying. Got to be very careful. So those are, that's another thing, point, referencing the past. If it's something that's going to be used as a weapon, you might want to leave that alone. And not deal with those different things. Last but not least, you should have rules of engagement. Rules of engagement, meaning that you're going to be respectful and you're going to be responsible. You're going to be respectful to the other person. You're going to respect the rules. You're going to be responsible. You're going to take responsibility for your part, and you're going to be responsible enough that you are not, being petty, that you're not being, petty. And I had to laugh because there are times where I say that, man, I want to be petty. Like, I don't want to be the bigger person. I don't want to be, the good person all the time. Sometimes I want to be able, because I'm so good at times, because I'm just, the peacemaker. There's one time I just want to just go in, and people are like, oh, okay, that's understandable because, she's usually so good, so I guess they deserved it. Sometimes I want to be that person. I want to be Petty LaBelle. I want to just do that. However, that's not okay. You're not respecting the rules of engagement, and being a bigger person and dealing with people with kindness is so much better than trying to hurt people's feelings or, doing things very dirty just to get your way. Being manipulative and all those other things. So you want to make sure that you're respecting the rules of engagement, that you're respecting the rules, that you're respecting the person, that you're respecting yourself, and you're also taking responsibility and you're being very responsible. I hope you guys got some good information from this video. Here's the thing, make sure you are implementing these 5 keys when you are thinking about embarking on any type of challenges in your life or any type of battles that you may be going through or feel like you may have to go through when it comes to your relationships. Because once you take the time out and be intentional with these 5 keys, you're going to realize how much more you are winning in your relationships. And these things are not going to be as big of a challenge as we may make it out to be, especially if we are not utilizing the 5 keys of asking ourselves questions, making sure that we come into an agreement or that we will be creating an agreement, making sure that we are respecting the rules of engagement, as well as being careful with referencing the past and seeking clarity when it comes to our relationships and our discussions when it comes to our relationships. So until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Until next time, assalamu alaikum. Peace.